What if the biggest decisions you've made in your life, the jobs you've taken, the people you've loved, the risks you've avoided, were never really your decisions at all? What if they were shaped years ago by a version of you that doesn't even exist anymore? And what if that old version left behind a blueprint that's been quietly running your life ever since? A blueprint you've never even seen. Feel that for a second. Because if that's true, then you've been following a map to a place you never chose. We like to think our choices are rational, deliberate, and fully ours. But the human brain isn't just a decision maker. It's a survival machine. And survival machines come with rules, old rules, sometimes ancient rules, written in moments of fear, pain, and shame. These rules don't live in the front of your mind, where you can debate them. They hide in the back, buried in emotional memory, quietly deciding which roads you'll walk down and which ones you'll avoid forever. Maybe you felt this. You have an incredible opportunity in front of you. But your stomach knots and you find an excuse to say, "Not now." You meet someone genuine and kind, but a quiet, unshakable suspicion keeps you at arm's length. You're standing in the middle of what should be your moment, and instead of joy, all you feel is dread. This isn't weakness. This is wiring, and your wiring comes from somewhere. Most people think of memory as a neat little library. Events get filed in order. Happy moments on one shelf, stressful events on another. But that's not how your brain works. Your brain doesn't just store what happened. It stores the feeling of what happened. And feelings, especially intense ones, get VIP treatment. Fear, shame, and pain. They're highlighted in neon. Why? Because your brain evolved to survive, not to make you comfortable. Anything that once hurt you gets flagged as must remember at all costs. In neuroscience, this is where the amygdala comes in, your brain's emotional alarm bell. When trauma hits, the amygdala stamps it with red ink, then works with your hippocampus to lock it in. It's not just a mental note, it's a permanent instruction. Avoid this always, a dangerous difference, a normal versus traumatic memory. Here's the key distinction. A normal memory is like a book on a shelf. You can choose to pull it down, read it, then put it back. A traumatic memory is like a computer virus. You don't see it running, but it's always there, slowing you down, hijacking your programs, and shutting you down when you need to perform. And that virus is your emotional memory, an unprocessed fragment of the past that stays alive in your present, scanning your world for threats, even threats that don't actually exist. So here's the question we'll be answering. If these invisible memories are shaping your decisions, how much of the life you're living right now is truly yours? And more importantly, how do you take the controls back? How your brain builds a blueprint for failure. The brain's real job, safety over happiness. Your brain's number one priority is not to make you happy. It's not to make you rich. It's not even to make you successful. Its top priority, above everything else, is to keep you alive. And that means predicting danger before it happens. When something painful happens, a betrayal, a humiliation, a terrifying loss, your brain doesn't just remember what happened, it builds a survival manual around it. Every sight, every sound, every smell, and most importantly, the emotion tied to it. And once that manual is written, your brain keeps it on the desk, not in the archives. Think of this as your brain's predictive map. Every time you face something new, your brain scans it against that map. Does this feel like that time you were abandoned? Does this remind you of the time you were publicly humiliated? Does this person's tone feel like someone who once hurt you? If the answer is yes, even slightly, your brain sounds the alarm. And here's the problem. This is an emotional system, not a logical one. You don't get a pop-up notification explaining what's happening. You just feel fear, anxiety, suspicion, or the sudden urge to escape. Imagine this. You're at a new job. The people are kind. The work is engaging. You're doing fine. Until your boss glances at you a certain way. In an instant, your chest tightens. You feel exposed. That confident energy disappears. You can't explain it, but your brain can. That glance, for just a fraction of a second, mirrored the look of disappointment you saw on a parent's face 20 years ago. You didn't consciously notice it, but your emotional memory did. And here's the kicker. Your body reacts as if this moment is that moment. Same tension, same stress hormones, same fight or flight cascade. Your logical brain, the prefrontal cortex, goes offline, and the old blueprint takes over. This is why so many people stay stuck. You turn down a promotion because deep down, success feels unsafe. You avoid intimacy because closeness feels like the first step toward betrayal. You don't take risks because new feels like dangerous. And you don't even realize you're doing it, because the decision happens before you can think. It's not sabotage. It's a protection program, just one that's 20 years out of date. So here's the uncomfortable truth. You can't outthink a blueprint you can't see. And until you see it, it will keep running your life from the shadows. We're going to break open the science of why you get stuck, and more importantly, the first steps to rewriting the program. The science of being stuck and rewriting the blueprint. Deep inside your brain lies a seahorse-shaped structure, the hippocampus. For decades, scientists thought it was just the memory center, a dusty library where your past was stored. But new research uncovered something revolutionary. The hippocampus doesn't just remember the past. It imagines the future using the same mental hardware. That means every time you try to picture what's ahead for you, the job you want, the relationship you hope for, the life you dream about, your brain is pulling directly from your memory library to create that vision. Here's the catch. If your memory shelves are stacked with fear, betrayal, and failure, those are the only building blocks your brain has to work with. It's like asking an artist to paint a sunrise, but only handing them shades of gray and black. Why your mind predicts a bleak future. In people with PTSD and unresolved trauma, studies show their imagined futures are less detailed, less hopeful, and more negative. Some researchers even call it a disorder of imagination. Ask someone who's been deeply hurt to picture a joyful future, and they might draw a blank. Or worse, they imagine new scenarios shadowed by the same dread they've always felt. This isn't pessimism. It's not a bad attitude. It's a neurological traffic jam. The hippocampus is trying to build a new picture, but keeps pulling up corrupted files from old disasters. The result? A foreshortened future, a gut-deep feeling that life will be short, that making long-term plans is pointless because disaster is always just around the corner. It's not just the big traumas. When we say trauma, most think of the big T events: abuse, violence, catastrophic accidents. But your blueprint can be written by small t traumas too. Chronic criticism from a parent, years of subtle bullying, the silent neglect that left you feeling invisible, repeated disappointments that quietly taught you, don't expect much. The brain doesn't always distinguish between big and small. If it overwhelmed you at the time, it can leave the same kind of emotional imprint. And here's the cruel twist: your brain prefers the familiar over the healthy, even if the familiar is painful. That's why so many find themselves in the same type of toxic relationship again and again. To the survival brain, the devil you know feels safer than the angel you don't. How to start rewriting the blueprint. You can't erase what happened, but you can edit how your brain reacts to it. The goal is to move a memory from active virus to archived record. That starts with noticing the trigger. When you feel the spike, the anxiety, the shame, the urge to run, pause and ask, is this reaction about right now or about back then? That small gap between stimulus and response is your power. In that gap, you can insert a new interpretation, a new choice, a new action. Remind yourself, this person is not the one who hurt me. Tell your body, this is a new moment. I am safe now. Take the step anyway, even if the fear is screaming at you. Over time, this retrains your brain. It builds new neural pathways that eventually become more familiar than the old ones. The final truth. Trauma's greatest lie is this: the future will be nothing more than the past. But you are not doomed to repeat the same story. Your brain wrote these blueprints to protect you, but now you are the architect. You can thank your survival system for doing its job and then let it know, we're building something new now. You don't need to erase the past. You just need to stop letting it be the only map you follow. If your past has been steering the wheel, then this is the moment you take it back, and it won't happen by accident. You can't drift your way out of a blueprint. You have to rewrite it, page by page. Step 1. Awareness as the key. Most people live their whole lives never realizing the patterns that run them. They feel the fear and call it instinct. They feel the hesitation and call it caution. They avoid the opportunity and call it good judgment. But it's not judgment, it's history, pretending to be wisdom. Awareness is the first hammer blow to the old structure. You can't fight an enemy you can't see. When you notice the moment, the exact second an old fear tries to dictate your next step, you've already taken back some control. Step 2, the micro-courage method. You don't need to leap into the unknown head first. That's Hollywood's lie. You need micro-courage, small, deliberate actions that tell your brain, we can survive this. Say yes to the meeting you were going to avoid. Share one truth you were going to keep hidden. Let one person get closer than you normally allow. Each micro-action is a new line in your blueprint, one built in the present, not in the past. Step 3, repetition. Until rewiring your brain learns through repetition. Fear pathways fade when they're not fed. New ones grow when you walk them daily. It's not about never feeling fear. It's about teaching your nervous system that the world beyond the old blueprint is not fatal. This takes time. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. And one day you realize the thing that used to paralyze you barely makes you blink. The past will always try to whisper its warnings, but you are no longer the person who lived those moments. You are not the frightened child. You are not the betrayed lover. You are not the humiliated dreamer. You are the architect now. And every choice you make from this day forward is another stone laid in a future your past could never have imagined. Stay strong and subscribe for more like this.